Hello and welcome to this first ever virtual Superior Heights Intermediate Program graduation for this year, 2020. My name is Jim Brown. I'm one of the grade 8 teachers here at Superior Heights, and I'm also the MC for this event. Joining me here today is Mrs. Jan MARRELLI, Principal of Superior Heights, Mr. James KERR, Vice Principal of Superior Heights, and my esteemed colleague, Mrs. Becky GRISDALE, the other grade 8 teacher at our program. I would like to ask everyone to please stand for the playing of O Canada. I would now like to share a video message from Terry SHEEHAN, Sault Ste. Marie, MPP.
Hi, I'm Terry SHEEHAN, Member of Parliament for Sault Ste. Marie. I'm here at Superior Heights to give all the graduating class of 2020 a big shout out. You know, during these COVID-19 times, well, they've been unprecedented for students all around the world, and you really showed your merit by graduating. I wish you all the best of luck as you go forward in your life. Some of you will be going to college, some of you will be going to university, some will be going right into the workforce. If I can ever be of assistance, or my office, don't hesitate to contact me. There's a whole bunch of supports available to you as youth at www.canada.ca/coronavirus. So, Principal MARRELLI, congratulate your students, all of your staff, all of your teachers, and all the parents, and especially the graduating students. You have done such an amazing job, all of you working together. I'm so proud of you as your Member of Parliament, and you know, go Steelhawks!
Hello, graduates, and congratulations. Your parents, teachers, and coaches are so proud of you, and I am too. I know this wasn't how you thought you'd make your jump to high school, but this is still an important moment for you. And it's a milestone that should be celebrated no matter what we're going through. Now, I know that the last few months haven't been easy. You've had to finish school by doing homework at the kitchen table or in your room. You're bored and you can't go out and meet up with friends or go to sleepovers. And it's tough being stuck inside with your parents or brothers and sisters. If you've been feeling worried or lonely, that's okay. But I want you to know that we'll get through this together because you're doing your part. You're helping out around the house by cleaning your room or doing the dishes. You're connecting with your friends online through Snapchat and Instagram, and you're staying inside. So I want to say thank you for everything you're doing right now to help stop COVID-19. But I also want you to know that there's still a lot to be excited about. You'll be starting at a new school in the fall, and you'll be learning new, exciting subjects. You'll be able to decide what you want to do and who you want to become, and you'll be making even more friends. And as you're taking this next big step, remember that your dreams of a better future can become a reality. And we'll all be right here to support you because you're the leaders of today, and this is your moment. So once again, congratulations to the class of 2020. I can't wait to see what you'll do next.
At this time, I would like to share a video message from the Algoma District School Board.
Hello, ADSB graduates. Bonjour, Boozoo, Ani. I'm Lucia REECE, Director of Education, and I want to take a few moments to acknowledge you and this remarkable year. 2020 is a number none of us will soon forget. Yes, for you, it has meant a year without proms and physical graduations and an instant shift in your learning mode. But graduates, I want you to know that you are the graduating class that has the whole world cheering you on and wishing you success. Some have referred to you as the chosen group, the ones who are demonstrating to the world what resilience and commitment and humanity can accomplish. I truly hope that whatever drove you or inspired you to have grit, to have perseverance, and to overcome the challenges of this pandemic will continue to propel you into your future. Today is your day to be proud. Be proud of your achievement because it represents hard work, effort, perseverance, and of course, courage. None of us knows what lies ahead, but rather than focus on what wasn't, focus on your future, knowing that what you have learned matters to you and that future. We are living in exciting times. Scientists are growing meat in labs from stem cells. Food is being grown in controlled environments in some of the coldest parts of the world. Scientists all over the world are collaborating to find a vaccine for COVID-19, and driverless cars are already here. I share these examples because as the world changes, so will you, and so will your environment. But one thing will not change, and that is you will always need to be a learner. Consider your diploma as a billboard message that says, I am open to learning. Graduates, choose to be a lifelong learner. Seize every opportunity to learn something new, to grow, to be open to new challenges, and to really learn who you are and all that you can be. Don't be afraid to question and to seek information every chance you can, as this will make your learning more fulfilling. Our lives and the world become better through learning. Every year, I intentionally remind graduates that education is half the key to success. The other half of the key lies in your personal character. Who you are, what you value, and what you stand for matters. Your character will not only define your future success in academic studies, but also in your employment, your involvement as a caring citizen, and in every relationship you will develop in your lifetime. And speaking of relationships, I want you to stop and think about who has been supporting you, either physically or in your heart, through this pandemic and through your studies. Just as we, as school boards, are proud to have been able to support you, please take a moment to recognize your family, friends, relatives, teachers, and perhaps community partners who have supported you in accomplishing this goal. No one succeeds alone. So please be sure to thank those who have supported you and probably even harassed you about getting assignments done. Class of 2020, you are unique, and you are graduating under unique circumstances. Try not to focus on what you could not do during this pandemic, but rather on all the things you will do upon its end. May you look ahead to the future with the clarity of 2020 vision, and carry with you the words of Waldo Emerson, who said, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us." Congratulations, confident learners and caring citizens. Now let what lies within you fuel your future. Thank you. Miigwech.
Now, I would like to call upon Mrs. Jan Marrelli for her remarks.
Class of 2020, Steelhawks. I congratulate you on graduating and welcome you to Superior Heights Secondary School. You have spent your intermediate years at Superior Heights and are therefore in a key position to become leaders within the high school. Keep in mind your success in high school will be directly related to what you do or fail to do. You can choose your own direction, get involved in school life, work hard, and set high goals for yourself. Keep in mind that during your high school journey, you may encounter problems and obstacles, but they are just bumps in the road. Take yourself seriously, pick courses that let you explore career options, and start leaving your mark. Envision greatness in yourself and seize every opportunity that you can to achieve it. Have a great summer, stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you back at school in the fall of 2020. Congratulations.
At this time, I'd like to call upon Mr. James KERR for his remarks.
Welcome, parents, staff, friends, guests, and graduates. I'm sure it's hard for loved ones to believe that these fine young adolescents have completed their elementary schooling already. I'm also sure it feels like just yesterday to many caregivers that your son or daughter was starting their very first day of JK. We have many people to thank for getting our students prepared for today. I'd like to recognize the staff at Superior Heights who have been so important in making this year successful. Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Kannenberg, Mrs. Swift, Mrs. Byko, Mrs. Zanata, Mrs. Finlayson, Miss Barbin, Miss Morelli, Mrs. Provenzano, Mr. Giovanetti, our secretarial staff, and of course, Mr. Brown and Miss Grisdale. I'd also like to thank you, our school community, parents, grandparents, caregivers, and agency support personnel. Our students are so fortunate to have so many caring adults in their life. To Sam, Mike, Greg, and the custodial staff, who spent countless hours cleaning, disinfecting, and making sure we have a terrific building to teach and learn in, thank you as well. I will say it's been my pleasure getting to know the graduating class of 2020. And although our graduation celebration today certainly looks different than any of us could have imagined 5 months ago, the most important part still remains the same. You made it through elementary school and have started a new and exciting chapter in your life. Over the course of the school year, our students have shown growth in so many areas, academically, socially, emotionally, and even athletically. You have such talent and potential, and I am proud of each and every one of you. My hope for all of you is not necessarily that you earn straight A's in every subject in high school, or that you have a 90% average, or that you can memorize and recite math facts and formulas, but it's that each of you become honest, kind, and caring young adults that try their hardest. Grades, of course, they're important, but a person's character is far more. I'm sure many of you already do this, but parents, graduates, when you look at your final elementary report card this week, please pay close attention to the learning skills section. Responsibility, organization, independent work, collaboration, initiative, and self-regulation, as these attributes are very often the key indicators of success. If your son or daughter is struggling in one or more of these areas, now or down the road, I know you will take time to talk with them and show them ways to improve. Like math or science skills, these don't always come naturally, and it takes practice and hard work to improve. Finally, graduates, congratulations. Know that when things get back to normal, and they will get back to normal, my door is always open, no matter what grade you're in, and I look forward to seeing how you choose to create your futures. Thank you.
Dear grade 8 graduates of the class of 2019-2020, what can I say? What I can say is I miss you all very much, and that your graduation speech this year will be the most unique speech I have given in all my years, sending my grade 8 students off to high school. Although our memories together are brief and were cut short, the time we did spend together was both memorable and enjoyable. Each of your diverse interests and personalities made this class a standout group of individuals. Things were not as we had hoped, expected, or planned for this year, and I want to acknowledge that I feel badly that your experience was not what you, your families, or I had in mind. Ladies, I know you would have all looked stunning and shone in your dresses. Gentlemen, you would have rocked your suits and new haircuts on grad night. This year was full of trials and tribulations, with many things being canceled long before COVID-19. This year did not turn out how you imagined. Losing out on extracurricular activities, grade 8 trip, graduation, and it is beyond disappointing. We don't have closure, but what we do have are lessons that could not be taught in the classroom. You have been taught to be resilient, courageous, and mindful. You have been given a lesson in epidemiology, environmental stewardship, politics, citizenship, kindness, gratitude, and humanity. Also remember, you are not alone, as you will forever have a bond with millions of graduates across the world that did not celebrate this milestone in the traditional fashion. You are a part of history, and if you don't like the way things went down during this pandemic, if you don't like the way our government, country, or the world dealt with it, then think about how you can continue to educate yourself to change it in the future. If you aren't happy with the things going on in the world that threaten your basic liberties, then work hard to educate yourself so in the future you can do something about it. Don't be complacent, be resilient, be courageous, and always look for the lessons in everything while continuing to learn and grow. So although this year did not go as we had hoped or planned, you are coming out of elementary school having learned some of the most valuable, important, and impactful lessons that can't be taught in the classroom. You are going into grade 9 equipped with the experience of navigating a pandemic while learning how to learn from home, and that is historical. Congratulations to you all. Remember to dream big and dream often. I will leave you with a quote from Kobe Bryant, a legend taken far too soon. We don't quit, we don't cower, we don't run, we endure and conquer.
Mrs. Marrelli, Mr. Kerr, Mrs. Grisdale, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, and especially grade 8 graduates. It is with some trepidation and excitement that the end of another school year is upon us. A year filled with hope, uncertainties, and many questions that may still need to be answered. To be fair, there was a point this year when I wasn't sure that this day would actually come, but here we are. As you're all aware, this past school year has been very busy, interesting, and full of change, which required flexibility and perseverance on the part of all of us. Be it having to change homeroom teachers a few times at the start of the school year, to the Ontario-wide teacher strike, to the corona pandemic, and now to the first virtual grade 8 graduation at Superior Heights, we have all been hit with huge challenges. With that said, each one of today's graduates have worked hard to overcome all of the obstacles set in their way and fully deserve to be celebrating this milestone in their lives. I have been honored to be part of their growth, from coming into grade 7 full of wonder and naivety, and now being called graduates and full members of our Steelhawk Nation. I am very proud of the people they're becoming and wait with anxious anticipation to see where the rest of their school careers will take them. At this point, parents and care providers should give themselves a huge pat on the back for a job well done, as none of this could come to fruition without your support, your guidance, your understanding, and most of all, your patience. As far as these young people have come, they are still a work in progress. Teaching is a sacred job that requires one to wear many hats: teacher, counselor, coach, mentor, and now online facilitator of learning at home. These past few months have really demonstrated the work ethic that has shown their ability to persevere during a difficult transition that is not only for them, but also for us. Grade 8 is a very important year for young people to have the proper transition to the next stage of their education. They need to feel that they're able to make mistakes, while still having a safety net that gently protects them from making decisions that could be harmful. This is a responsibility that I do not take lightly. I am entrusted to help each student navigate through their final year with the intent of achieving a successful outcome at the end of it all. With the diverse group of students we have, this is a daunting task. One that I take on with vigor, enthusiasm, and with a caring heart. I am proud to say with certainty that each one of my students has experienced positive growth. With this momentum, I am also certain that this will continue throughout their lives. I often tell the students that the number one way to be successful is to have a good work ethic. It doesn't matter what the job is, as long as you do your best to complete it. Students have demonstrated this character trait numerous times this year, especially during the last few months of at-home learning. Initially, I was thinking I would approach this like a normal school day, having office hours from 9 until 3. I quickly realized that these are not the normal office hours of a regular teenager. They typically crawl out of their slumber, afternoon sometime, and do not end their day until the wee hours of the morning, if at all. When checking the time that many have submitted schoolwork, I noticed the time tag was well after midnight. Sometimes lessons are taught in ways that do not follow mainstream teaching practices. One of the many lessons I learned from my students is the art of being flexible. If done right, teaching is always a two-way street. It is an honor to learn right along with those who are supposed to be learning from me. As we merge into what appears to be a new way of learning and living that takes us away from our comfort zones, we know we are all together in this. It is very important to treat each other with a sense of compassion and patience as we all try to figure this out. As diverse as we are, remember, we are all from one race, the human race. We need to stick together in order to be successful. The team is stronger than the individual. So, no, even though you move to a different class within our school, we are still part of the Steelhawk team. With that said, always know that my door, both physical and virtual, will always be open to hear how you're getting along or to provide you with that safety net as required. Please use it. I'd like to leave you with a couple of quotes I hope that you will consider when navigating through this thing we call life. First, it's hard to look back on what you haven't seen yet, but these words from the famous author Mark Twain might help. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from safe harbor, catch the trade wind in your sails, explore, dream, discover. It's natural to feel a sense of fear when trying new things, but you may be surprised of how good it makes you feel when you do. Secondly, these are words that hold direct meaning to me and words that I live by. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Words spoken by Maya Angelou, who was an American poet, singer, memoirist, and civil rights activist. Always think about the indelible effect you can have on a person because you never know how far-reaching it may be. I congratulate each one of you, and although the journey is far, remember, the journey is far from over. Keep up the pursuit of excellence.
Our valedictorians are students who have attained the highest marks and who have represented themselves and their classmates with great character throughout the school year. They set great examples for their peers to follow. Every assignment was completed and done exceptionally well. They also set great examples around the school. They certainly demonstrated the leadership qualities every student would want to emulate. They consistently demonstrated aspects of great character every day, and we wish them the best of luck. Please join me in welcoming Lucas Green and Nicholas Ryan.
Parents, teachers, and fellow students, my name is Nicholas Ryan. I never thought I'd be making this speech by video instead of in front of you all, but this is what 2020 has brought us. To start things off, I'd like to thank Mr. Brown and Mrs. Grisdale for presenting me as one of the valedictorians for this year. To start things off, I'd like to thank Mr. Brown and Mrs. Grisdale for presenting me as valedictorians. It is an incredible honor. I'd like to talk about my experience at Superior Heights and thank a few people, so let's get started. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Mr. Brown for 2 of the best years at school I've ever had. He made every class fun, everyone was always happy to come, and we all enjoyed it. He would have discussions, and basically, he would talk to us about a topic. It was like having a conversation with him. This was very enjoyable and a fantastic way to teach. I think he is an exceptional teacher, and it's a shame he can't be my teacher for high school too. I'd like to thank Ms. Grisdale for 2 wonderful years of science. She is an amazing teacher who provided us with hands-on projects and that were always fun to complete. Having her as a coach for volleyball was very fortunate to us. Also, Ms. Grisdale co-coached volleyball with Mrs. Swift, who was my art teacher. I want to thank her for all of the fun projects she had for us to complete. Next, I'd like to thank Mr. Boudau, who runs the VEX Robotics Club, as well as taught us our class robotics and STEM for our X block. I'd like to thank him because I had a fantastic time in his class and made some really good friends. Matt Barnett, Aiden Sterling, and Justice Palin were on my robotics team this past year. We went all the way to compete at provincials. This is all thanks to Mr. Boudau. He taught us from the ground up, and we feel very proud about having made it that far. Without our administrative staff, including Mr. KERR and Mrs. Morelli, along with the other support staff in the main office, this program would not exist. This is particularly why I'd like to thank them for this great opportunity. A special thank you goes out to all of my sports coaches for volunteering their time and being there to put together the teams. I don't think I'd be up here today if it weren't for sports. Without them, school would be far more boring, and I don't know what I would do. These include basketball, volleyball, baseball, and those are just the ones I play. Sports are a big part of my life and the lives of many other students who attend Superior Heights. It's amazing that our school offers so much variety with respect to sporting programs. So you can imagine without these sports how boring a school week would be. That's why I enjoy them so much. Next, I'd like to recognize some of the often overlooked but very important roles played by special people in our school. First, thanks to the educational staff to the custodial staff who keep our school clean, creating a nice learning environment for us. Second, thanks to the educational assistants such as Mrs. Anada, who support our learning and help us with a variety of other things. Finally, to the cafeteria staff under Mr. Zachary, who keep the cafeteria running and provide us with amazing, healthy food throughout the year. Lastly, I'd like to thank all of the high school teachers who have supported our learning over the last 2 years, in particular Mr. Whitley, for an amazing semester. He is my REECE head math teacher. I absolutely love his classes and enjoy all of his lessons. He always provides us with challenging homework that inspires us to work harder. As I hope you've seen, I really enjoyed my 7-8 years, and I'm sure I can speak for my whole class when I say we can't wait to see what's coming next. So, to my fellow classmates, my wish for us is to experience all that high school has to offer, try new things. Whether the water's calm or stormy, keep trying with an open mind. You'll never know what you'll fall in love with.
Hello, class of 2020, teachers, parents, friends, and family. What a great year we had. The school sports tournaments was fun. We did awesome in track and field, and our grad trip to Toronto was amazing. And here we are at a grade 8 graduation. Okay, I know none of these things happened for us this year, and I could stand up here today and talk about how unfair it is for us that we couldn't experience any of these things. But instead, we should focus on how great the last 8 years were for us and some of the amazing things that we are about to experience. There is no doubt that 2020 sure has been crazy. We lost a great icon to all sports, Kobe Bryant. Australia was on fire. We saw the biggest mass shooting in Canadian history, and this virus shut down everything. Who would have ever thought that all schools, professional sports, travel, and business would completely shut down? And now we are seeing huge riots and protests happening all over. Yes, we are living through a historic time that is sad and scary, and none of us have ever faced dealing with a global pandemic before. I'm sure that when most of you saw that we were getting an extra 2 weeks off school after March break, you were excited. Well, at least I know I was. But it didn't take long for that excitement to turn into fear and disappointment, wondering how long this virus would stay and how dangerous it would be. Along with not being able to see your friends and family and worrying about everyone's health, it also took away all the milestones that we all should have experienced in our grade 8 year. Now we would have done anything to get back in school. But we do have a lot of things to be thankful for, especially in the years leading up to grade 8. School is where we met most of our closest friends, each grade preparing us for the next, and now we are the graduating class of 2020 that isn't going to let COVID ruin this special time. In fact, it has probably made us more prepared for what life will bring. So while some people may say we didn't get a chance to learn a lot this year, I think we've learned some valuable life lessons. As an example, I never knew how hard it was to stay at home for months and do nothing. We learned how important essential workers are to us, and we should be thankful. We found ways to connect while being apart. Lessons don't always come in textbooks or from teachers, but it sure helps when they do. So, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all teachers and school staff for being there for us from the start. I'd also like to thank all of the parents who have been there for us through tough times, making us do homework and supporting us in school events. Now we are leaving our elementary years behind and will be entering grade 9 next year. For some of us, this could be scary, but what could be scarier than what we have seen these past few months? It is a new chapter in our life, and I know we will succeed. It is a chance to meet new friends, learn new things, and experience all that high school has to give. So I would encourage you all to work hard, follow your dreams, and have fun. With everything going on in the world, I think it is more important than ever to stay positive and be kind. I know together that we can make a difference. I wish you all the best of luck as we enter grade 9 and hope that everyone has an awesome and safe summer. Thank you.
I would now like to introduce the grade 8 graduating class. At this time, we will now introduce the graduates and present them with their diplomas. In addition, students who achieve top marks in the various subject areas will receive medallions for their achievements.
We will now present the awards to those who have demonstrated outstanding qualities in various areas of academics and athletics this year at Superior Heights Intermediate.
In closing, your teachers are delivering your diplomas, caps, and awards today. It was their way to show that they miss you, want to be part of your celebration, and applaud your achievements. Take care and stay safe as you celebrate your accomplishments with your family. Congratulations, class of 2020. You can now throw your caps.